The View is facing another major controversy, and this time, the fallout goes far beyond the daytime talk show. Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and Joy Behar are now publicly pushing back against what they describe as Hollywood censorship after their reported involvement with an upcoming SNL Halloween segment apparently fell apart. But there's a bigger question here. Was this really about political expression, or are the hosts trying to turn a professional setback into another political battle? And as more details continue to surface, their response is getting even more attention. Stay with me, because we're going through exactly what was said, why the SNL situation matters, and why this could create an even bigger problem for The View. And if you enjoy breaking Hollywood and pop culture commentary, make sure you subscribe to the WokeWatch so you don't miss the next update. As August 2026 moves toward its final days, the controversy surrounding The View continues to grow. Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and Joy Behar have remained highly outspoken about politics, Hollywood, and the current administration, and their latest comments are now drawing attention because of an alleged dispute involving NBC and Saturday Night Live. According to the claims being discussed, the hosts had been expected to participate in an SNL Halloween-related segment that would have included political humor aimed at Donald Trump. That appearance apparently did not move forward, and the situation has now become another talking point for the hosts. Rather than treating the situation as a simple entertainment decision, however, Sunny Hostin has presented it as something much bigger. Hostin argued that major television networks should not be able to restrict performers simply because those performers have political opinions. She questioned why networks would seemingly become more cautious about political expression and suggested that the entertainment industry should protect freedom of expression rather than discourage it. She also suggested that the situation reflected a broader change taking place across Hollywood, claiming that major studios and networks are becoming increasingly uncomfortable with talent expressing political views that could create controversy. And this is where the conversation gets complicated. Hostin's argument appears to be that if someone is denied an entertainment opportunity because of something they said politically, then that person is being unfairly punished for exercising their right to speak. But critics are pushing back on that interpretation. A television network deciding who appears in a comedy sketch is not automatically the same thing as restricting someone's freedom of speech. People can still express their opinions, while producers and executives can separately decide whether those individuals fit a particular program, segment, or creative direction. That distinction is extremely important, and the controversy doesn't end there. The hosts have also faced criticism over previous comments involving the American flag. Earlier remarks about the flag generated backlash, with critics accusing the panel of making sweeping statements about something that represents the country as a whole. The hosts later attempted to clarify that their criticism was specifically directed toward how the flag is sometimes used in certain political environments. That clarification, however, did little to end the debate. Now, Whoopi Goldberg has entered the conversation as well, and her response was considerably more aggressive. Goldberg argued that political pressure is influencing major entertainment companies and claimed that powerful executives are becoming increasingly cautious about allowing talent to express political opinions. She portrayed the situation as evidence of a much larger problem inside Hollywood, suggesting that networks are becoming afraid of political controversy and that performers are being forced to think twice before speaking publicly. Goldberg also brought up actor Robert De Niro, pointing to what she described as another example of an entertainment project being affected by an actor's political reputation. That brings us to another controversy that has recently surrounded De Niro. There have been reports and online discussions about a Sony Pictures project that was reportedly being developed as a political thriller and was expected to feature De Niro in a major role. The project was ultimately not moving forward, and that development became part of a broader conversation about whether Hollywood is becoming more selective about controversial political figures. However, it's important to separate speculation from confirmed information here. A project being canceled or abandoned does not by itself establish that someone's political opinions were the reason. Still, that hasn't stopped The View hosts from using these kinds of situations as examples of what they believe is happening across the entertainment business. According to their argument, the issue is not limited to one canceled appearance, one rejected segment, or one network decision. They believe it reflects a larger pattern in Hollywood, where performers and television personalities are becoming more cautious about expressing political opinions because they fear losing opportunities, facing public backlash, or upsetting powerful executives. And then we get to perhaps the most controversial part of the discussion. The hosts have increasingly connected these entertainment disputes to the upcoming midterm elections, with Goldberg encouraging viewers to participate politically and support Democratic candidates. Her message was not presented as a simple comment about current events. Instead, it became part of a broader argument about the direction of the country, the role of political activism, and the responsibility of public figures to speak out. That approach is likely to generate another wave of criticism because a growing number of viewers appear to be tired of celebrities and television personalities repeatedly telling audiences what political direction they should take. For some viewers, political commentary from entertainers is perfectly acceptable, especially when those personalities are discussing issues they genuinely care about. But for others, the constant political messaging can feel less like analysis and more like campaigning. That difference in perception is one of the main reasons these discussions continue to divide audiences. Whether someone agrees with those political opinions or not, there is a broader issue here. Audiences increasingly want entertainment personalities to explain their views without necessarily being treated as political authorities. Viewers may be willing to listen to a celebrity's perspective, but that does not mean they automatically accept that person's interpretation of every political issue. In fact, the more forcefully a host presents a political position, the more likely some members of the audience are to question whether the program is still offering commentary or simply promoting a particular agenda. And that's where the view's relationship with its own audience becomes important. The show has always mixed entertainment, celebrity interviews, current events, and politics. That combination is part of its identity, and it is also one of the reasons the program has remained a regular topic of conversation for so many years. The panel format allows the hosts to debate one another, react to breaking news, and offer personal opinions in a way that feels different from a traditional news broadcast. But when political commentary becomes the dominant focus, some viewers inevitably decide that the program is no longer for them. A viewer who originally tuned in for celebrity interviews, lifestyle discussions, or lighter daytime entertainment may eventually feel pushed away if nearly every segment turns into a debate about elections, political parties, or controversies involving public figures. At the same time, politically engaged viewers may appreciate the show's willingness to address those subjects directly. That doesn't necessarily mean every viewer is leaving, and claims about a complete collapse should be treated cautiously. But it does explain why the show's political strategy continues to generate debate among both supporters and critics. The bigger question is whether these controversies are actually helping The View maintain relevance or simply creating another cycle of backlash. There is no doubt that controversy keeps the show in the headlines. Clips from heated exchanges can spread quickly across social media, attract reactions from other commentators, and generate additional coverage from entertainment outlets. In that sense, conflict can create attention and keep the program part of the national conversation. But attention is not always the same thing as long-term success, because every time the show becomes involved in another political dispute, the conversation moves further away from entertainment and further toward partisan conflict. Instead of discussing the original topic, viewers may end up arguing about the hosts themselves, their political affiliations, or whether the network should allow such commentary on a daytime program. And now, the reported SNL situation has added another layer to that. The hosts appear to view the incident as an example of Hollywood limiting political expression. From their perspective, the decision may suggest that networks are willing to tolerate political opinions only when those opinions are considered safe, commercially useful, or unlikely to create controversy. Critics, however, see the SNL situation as a normal programming decision that has been turned into a political controversy. Producers have the right to choose performers, control the tone of a sketch, and avoid content they believe could create problems for the network. One side sees censorship and political pressure. The other sees creative control and ordinary television decision-making. Without more details, it's impossible to know exactly why the appearance did not happen. What we do know is that the controversy has once again placed Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, NBC, SNL, and The View at the center of another entertainment debate. With the November midterm elections approaching, political commentary from Hollywood personalities will likely become even more common. Some viewers may support the hosts for speaking openly, while others may grow tired of the constant political focus and tune out. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think the reported SNL situation was about political expression, or was it simply a creative decision turned into another controversy? And what do you think about the increasingly political direction of The View? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.